So, yes, we are now live on Facebook. Welcome all of our Facebook viewers. When you guys come in or whenever you watch, we thank you once again for being a regular listener. And we have about 2 minutes before the radio show starts. So, I am sharing our broadcast to the Taylor House Publishing page, and also it's available at the WBIS Awesome Radio page too. So we are live on Facebook. The radio show will start in about 1 minute. So I'm going to switch the audio and the visual to radio, and you won't be able to hear me until the show starts.
Winterville, Ayden, Grifton, Southside, Greenville, North Carolina.
I try to be a better man, but folks just don't understand. Try to do all I can to deal with this addiction in me. Lord, I wanna change. I can't stay the same. But the sins that in my vein is trying its best just to kill me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the U-Turn Show. I am your host, Richard A. Taylor. Thank you all for joining us out on your radio dial, WBIS 106.9 FM, Awesome Radio. Be sure to go to the website, WBISAwesomeRadio.org. Check out the site. Also, don't forget to download the app on Google Play, Apple, and Alexa. Also, welcome to the Facebook Live family that's joining live on Facebook. We have a very interesting show tonight. Very special guest, young man who's a father, husband, musician, singer, and as you'll learn tonight, a very just inspiring young man. Hey, Keita, how you doing? Thank y'all for joining us. But I want to introduce my special guest today, Mr. Walike Smith. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing fine, Rich.
Thank you so much for joining us, man. And also, this is my cousin, so this will be the first family member to join the show. So thank you all once again. I thank your wife for loaning me your wife and children for loaning me you for an hour.
No problem.
Yeah, so we just want to get right into it. Everybody knows the U-Turn Show is about people who have, traveled the wrong path in life and turned their life around. But tonight, it's going to be a little different because we're here with a young man who hasn't had that story. This young man, as I was just telling him, he's an inspiration to me, the way he's lived his life. He's never went the street lifestyle that many of us have. He actually has done some amazing things at a young age. And we were just talking about it. And you started playing music as a child, got dibbled and dabbled at about the age of 12. And then about 18, you really got serious with music, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. What instruments do you play?
Keyboard, piano, and bass guitar.
Okay. All right. You sing as well, though, right?
I do a little bit, man.
All right. So what made you want to get into the music?
Actually, a lot of people don't know, but I was adopted. So my adopted mother, you know, she's actually a minister right now, actually a pastor over church.
Okay.
With Straightway Deliverance Church in Fremont, North Carolina, and she like kept me in church, man, since day one. So I grew up, just hearing music all the time, and then actually finding out that it's kind of musical inclined on my father's side. So I guess that all just went together, and I just been doing it ever since.
All right, let's talk about that real quick. So being adopted,
All right.
how did that ever like affect you, or you just accepted it and kind of lived the life? When did you come find out about that, about adoption?
Yeah, man, it definitely affected in so many ways. Because I think with anybody, they want to know their real parents. They want to know who their mother and father is.
Mhm.
So hiding and identity with that part is just like I was always questioning Mom Dukes. I'll say, Mom, where's my mom at? Where's my father at? And then she'd just always tell me. She would actually try to hide it because I guess she knew that at the time with me being so young that it definitely affect my I guess my mentality. So
Okay.
waited till I got actually maybe around about 12 or 13 to actually explain to me what was going on. And that's probably, that's around when I found out like that I was really, really adopted. Kids at school would be like, oh, you adopted? And I didn't even know what that meant actually, like
Okay.
and I'm telling people, I'm adopted, you know what I'm saying? But not knowing that, it was cool because that's how much love I was getting. So it didn't really bother me, but I was a bad butt, man, because I would always be frustrated and not knowing my father and mother. I was
Okay. So actually, and that's because I remember when you actually found your mom,
right.
right? Because it was a family thing that said, okay, what is it? Your mom, Monica,
Yeah,
somebody was like, well, she got a son. Her son found her. And we started to meet you. How long ago was that? How old were you when you
I was
finally
21.
met the fam?
21.
21.
I just had turned 21, man. That was crazy. That was like mind blowing. That like took a lot of pressure off me at the time. And then, I could tell a little story that when we first met, we was just like, she was, you know, I mean, she was just she couldn't get it together. She couldn't get it together. She couldn't process it at the time like that. We right now united. She couldn't process it at the time, and then it took weeks actually for her to get it together. But it's all love because she never didn't want me to be away, but
Okay.
there was no other choice. But I had to at the time.
Yeah, circumstances. So you 21, right? By then, did you have children?
Yeah, I ended up having children later on. Well, at 21, yeah, I had kids at
Oh,
20.
okay. But also, we were just talking about you actually got married
Yeah,
at what? 22, right?
I got married at 22 with the same woman I've been with since I was 17.
17. So you actually been married now for 12 years, right? You 34.
Right,
So
right.
that's a blessing in itself, man. I definitely once again want to commend you because we don't see that. Now, did your situation coming up like sort of influence you to get married at
It,
a certain age?
it
And
actually did, man, because at the time, like when I was turning 18, I was thinking like, whoosh, this has got to be like God's plan because when I met her, I was so into her. I mean, like so into her that I had to drop everything else that was going on to get our relationship popping. So
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
so at the time, yeah, it really inspired me, man, because I was like, I definitely don't want, I want to have kids. At the time, I was like, yeah, I want to definitely have kids later on, but at the same time, what I mean, I got to have the right woman. So I was together, and I was like, well, this got to be God's plan, man. So
Okay. So you definitely didn't want to, put your kids in the situation you was in
yeah,
without, having both of their parents there, man. So that's big right there. So y'all been married for 12 years. Um, Everything is going good. You got what? You got a what? 15-year-old.
Yeah, 15-year-old boy, 14-year-old twin girls. Right now doing good in sports. My one of my daughters is leading the school in track team. Well, so and they're getting ready for the varsity basketball. They're 14, and then I have my little boy, my youngest. He's 2 years old.
Okay. So you got a loving wife. You got beautiful children. I mean, you
I love
traveling all over the country, singing, playing music. So everything is going great. You're living, that dream life, from
yeah,
rags to riches, or, from
right,
coming up
right.
from how you came, and everything is going wonderful. So
Even
now,
playing football at the time, I started playing semi-pro football.
yeah, my man. Hey, I read about that. Yeah, you was out there. What they call you, likey or lucky?
that's
What?
that's my adopted name from my mom that she gave me, Likey.
Likey.
Yeah,
Okay. What does likey mean? You got to give me some background on that.
I mean, actually, my mom told me she used it for short, because it fit Walike, and she added a Y, and then two, like said, everything I touched, I just liked it. Everybody that was surrounding me, they,
Uh-huh.
so you were
Okay. Definitely. Yeah,
like,
you very likable guy though. You very likable guy. Uh so now you're doing all of this, and then earlier this year,
yeah,
all of this changes.
yeah,
The whole world is turned upside down.
right, right.
How to tell the people, what date and how what things transpired to kind of shake your family life up a little bit.
All right, all right. I'm gonna actually start off because I actually forgot to tell you too, man, that my vehicle was stolen in March. In March, I had parked my car at a store, and somebody jumped in and left the keys in it, and somebody jumped in and took off with all my stuff. Man, I had like 2,000, almost the $3,000 worth of stuff in the back of my car. I had my equipment, my keyboard, my bass guitar stuff in there. Somebody had took off with that in March, so I'm going through the process with that, and then man, here come May 18th, 2021
All
was
right,
like,
okay. Before we go to that, did you ever get your did they ever find who stole your car?
yeah. They prosecuted him and all that.
So you got your stuff back?
Yeah, well, I actually got my car back, but I didn't get the items and stuff in there. But
Mm.
everything was taken care of.
Okay. So then fast forward. What was the date again?
May 18th, 2021, man. It was the worst time of my life. It was the worst time of my life. And I done been through stuff, I done been through a lot. But one of that was that didn't compare to nothing that I went through. You know what I'm saying? My our house had burnt down in like 2001, and we didn't have nowhere to go at one time, like for a day. I done been through a lot, but on May 18th, nothing compared to that. Nothing compared to that, bro. We got, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. My wife had woke up. I woke up too. But the first thing that actually woke me up was a big flash. I seen a big flash, and like a feeling that I felt like come across me. It felt like somebody hit me with a hammer upside my head while I was asleep. But it was the bullet. I had got shot here, and that's the flash that I seen. So when I got shot, it woke me up. And then the first thing I heard was my wife screaming, "Our house is being shot. Our house is being shot." So it was just all shocking, man, because it all started with me rolling over. I rolled over and, was trying to, hide or whatever, trying to get to safety. And
Mhm.
rolled over. I actually rolled over my son and my wife. So when I rolled over them, I actually trying to plant myself, but when
Uh-huh.
I plant myself, my arm slipped. And when my arm slipped off the bed, it made me fall off the bed. So when I fell off the bed, because we was all in the dark, the only thing, the light was coming from was a TV. So when I hit the floor, I'm like, dang. And I just feel all this excruciating pain, man. I'm like, what in the world going on with my arm? And then at the time when I looked down, bro, it was hanging. Like it was hanging like the movies. Like my bone was shattered. I know they shot like, with 40s and 45s, even the 22, but it had to be something big to hit my on my arm because it shattered my bone. So my bone shattered. So that's when my wife, she was just hollering, hollering, and then she hit the floor. And then we noticed our little man was still in the bed. So my wife grabbed him. She grabbed him, just off the gate and snatched him off the bed. And then we kind of like hid and waited for the gunshots to go away. I actually stood back up when they were still shooting. So, I don't know.
He was in shock.
I was way in shock, man. I didn't know what to do. And I definitely wasn't running and leaving them in the room. So I just so when we cut on the light, the gunshot stopped, and we finally cut on the light. I look at my arm, man, and it was terrible. It wasn't terrible. Like I didn't know that my wife had got shot at the time. She got shot 4 times actually. She got shot twice in her arm, and she got shot twice in her leg. And my little boy, we didn't know that my wife was shot in her leg because she was sitting on the floor holding her arm. So
Okay.
she was holding her arm because the bullet shot out one of her arteries in her arm. So at that time, we not knowing that my little man was shot because he was just crying, crying, crying. And at the same time, I was holding my arm. Like I had no other choice but to start getting, shirts and shirts and shirts. And I tried one shirt at one point in time, to try to wrap my arm, and that junk was still bleeding, man. It was still bleeding, bleeding. So then I felt blood coming from my mouth and stuff. And I was like, dang, I must have got shot in the face. But I was all right because I could still see, I could still talk. So I said to myself, it's not that bad. So I had to grab more shirts, man, and then wrap my arm. And by the time I did that, to go help my little man, we seen that he was shot in the leg, man. The bullet had went through his knee, like one out of one side and then out the other. So we was, just, I mean, I wasn't panicking like panic, but I was more into trying to save us because I seen a lot of blood at the time. And so I just suddenly were like, babe, we got to wrap ourselves. We got to wrap ourselves tight. And then that's when my son ran in there. My 15-year-old son, he ran in there, and he was like, he was out of it. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know to go from here to there. So he was like, I got to find the phone. He grabbed his phone. Then he ended up calling 911. And during that time, we were just bleeding. And I was so hurt bad because I didn't know I was shot in the chest. I didn't
Oh, you
realize
got
that.
shot in the chest as well?
Yeah, I got shot twice. I got shot on each side. That was crazy. I got shot on each side. I still got a bullet right here. It's a bullet right there. But and it's matter of fact, it's like 8 broken up metal pieces. And I think I got shot with a I forgot with the kind of bullet.
Yeah.
But so that's left in me. But yeah, man. And then like the girls ran in there. And once my daughters ran in the room, she looked at my face and then she started crying, crying, crying. She didn't really actually see my arm then. She seen
Okay.
I knew I was messed up because, and then I felt it too because my face was just ringing. Like, I knew it was swollen all, but it was ringing. My head and so wouldn't stop ringing. So that's when, I didn't know till I got to the hospital that my half of my chin was gone. But from a bullet. But yeah, we stayed in the room, man, and it was just crazy because my wife was just hollering Jesus, 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 Jesus. Like she was hollering Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. She didn't realize she was shot in her leg twice until she was getting up to go to the ambulance.
Okay. Then
Yeah,
she
because
couldn't walk.
right,
Yeah.
right. So at the time, man, it was just scary. It was scary. At first I had energy and stuff, man. I had energy, but my daughters came in there. They even scared me more because when she seen my face, she just went crazy. Like I never heard my daughter cry like that. Never.
Did she stay in the room or did she run out the room?
They stayed in the room and they came to our rescue also. They came and help. I told them, I said, baby girls, help your mama and help Daylon. That's what I told them. Okay. I
Okay.
couldn't help because I was holding my arm together. Like
Yeah.
my arm was split. It was it was cut like you know how you twist a stick.
Yeah.
My arm was hanging. Only thing that was holding my arm together was my meat, my little meat. That my bone, my muscle, and all that was gone. So told the twins, I said, baby girls, y'all go ahead and make sure that whatever y'all tie them with, tie tight to stop the bleeding and stuff like that. So that helped. We kind of calmed ourselves down a
So
little.
how long did it take the ambulance to get there after your son called? I know it seemed like an hour, but
it did, because my little man came there and he was like, he was trying to tell them, about what was going on. And then my brother came over there because we all stayed in the same like little housing area.
Okay.
It was our house, then my mother's, my mother's house, my brother's house, and actually my wife's grandma. So we all kind of try to stay together.
Okay.
Like a little community family thing. But then my brother came running over there. My brother Walike Smith, he came running over there, and he came to the window and he said, "Is everybody all right? We heard a lot of gunshots. He said, "Is everybody all right?" And he said, "We're just checking on you." First thing my wife said, "No, we not all right. We got shot. And he just went crazy. So they went and called the police. And it took like 8 to 10 minutes for them to get there. It took them, like you said, it felt like a whole hour for them to get there, man. Because by the time they got there, I'm gonna tell you a little story right quick.
Hold on now. We about to go to we about to go to break in about 30 seconds. So we're gonna hear that story when we come back, man. But that's I always tell people I've been shot before, but I was awoke, when I was shooting. Being waking up out of your sleep and realizing that bullets are flying into your house, and you've been shot in the chest, face, your wife been shot, your children been shot. I can't imagine how traumatic that was, man. So I just want to say once again, thank God. But we're gonna be right back after the break. This is the U-Turn Show. I'm your host, Richard Taylor, WBIS 106.9.
Ministries always keep an eye on your church's financial records. You'll want to hear this. Church ministry today. It's filled with legal pitfalls. Helping you avoid one of them, here's attorney David Gibbs Jr. of the Christian Law Association. Some of the most heartbreaking calls our attorneys at the Christian Law Association receive far too often relate to embezzlement. These tragic situations harm ministries and generally result in criminal charges being brought. A recent case had a church trustee sentenced to 16 years in prison for embezzling over $270,000 from his church. The trustee in this case was also given 2 credit cards by his secular employer to use for business expenses. Unfortunately, he abused them also. Churches, it's vital to keep track of all staff use of finances on a regular basis. Let me repeat, it's vital, critical to keep track of all staff in their use of finances on a regular basis. If you have any questions on this matter, please call us. We'd be honored to help. Be sure that you keep an eye on your church's financial records.
The Legal Alert with attorney David Gibbs Jr. is a presentation of this station and the Christian Law Association.
They don't care if God exists? This is Ken Ham, a missionary to our evolutionized culture and even to the church. According to a new survey, 43% of young adults in America don't know, care, or believe God exists. 43%. This shows how secular America has become, particularly in the younger generations. And this lack of belief in God influences their moral beliefs. Less than half of them believe you should treat others as you want them to treat you. 4 in 10 say you should get even with others. These beliefs are very different to those held by previous generations. Now, if we want to influence these very secular generations for Christ, we must understand that the battle is on a foundational level, man's word or God's word.
Get answers to encourage you in your faith when you visit us at AnswersRadio.com. You'll find answers to your questions and the hope of the gospel at AnswersRadio.com.
My name is Dominique, and you're listening to Awesome Radio.
Lord, I hope This ain't your plan for me to die up in these streets. Oh Lord, can you help me?
All right, we are back from our station break. This is 106.9 FM Awesome Radio WBISLP. I am your host, Richard Taylor, the U-Turn Show, again with his heart-wrenching and riveting story. My special guest, Walike Smith, also my cousin. Want to thank him for sharing his testimony. We're going to get right back into it, but I do want to read some comments. Keita Isla says, hey. Hosea Smith said, hi. Keita said, Jesus. I guess we were telling you about your story. Sakita Wilson Sakita Wilson says, my Lord, my father Roger Taylor, what's up there? Thanking God for grace and mercy. Cousin Butch, yeah, everybody. Grace and mercy. Keita Isla says, woo, my. So now we left off the story where you were about to tell me a little story.
Yeah.
About being
when I was at the time when we was waiting for the police, man. Well, we was waiting for the ambulance, everybody to get there or whatnot. I was like, I thought I was dying. I thought I was actually dying because I lost so much blood because, like I said, at the time, I didn't know I got shot in the jaw. I didn't know, half of that off. Like, I mean, if I didn't have that much hair there, everybody could be able to see like that. My jaw is like a little outside a little bit, but you probably can't. But I got I got like a big scar there and then a big scar under there and then a small scar up there. Everything, but yeah, at the time, I started spitting out blood. Started spitting out blood, man. It got to the point that's what made me thought I was gonna die because I was spitting out blood, and I guess just so much blood that I was losing at the time. But then I lost a lot of energy. After that, when we kind of tied up, to try to cut off the bleeding and stuff, I hit the wall, man. And then when I hit the wall, I just sat down. And then when I sat down, that was like one of the worst feelings ever too, because I had to actually look my family in the face and say, I love you. I love y'all. But I think I'm dying. You know what I'm saying? And that was crazy because I thought I was gone. Like I'm about to get a little tear out of it right now because that's just thinking about it. That junk was crazy.
Yeah. So let's fast forward. Now the families, everybody is out of the house. Everybody's in the hospital.
Yeah, we had I hit the ambulance. I flew in the ambulance with my little man. I mean, not flew, but we, was on the ambulance to the hospital down here, the local hospital, and then that's when I went KO. I was knocked out. Then I was sedated for like a day, but they flew us to Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Okay.
All three of us to Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and it was that Wednesday. I didn't wake up until like that Thursday evening. Yeah, because I was sedated and stuff, and it was that crazy. It was that crazy.
Yeah. And just to give you the outside looking in, because when we heard about it, once again, as I tell you, Yante, he real dramatic. That's our cousin. He said, yeah, man, cousin Walike, man, he got his arm shot off, his face blowed off, and his wife gonna lose a leg, all of those things. And I'm like, so he talking like that. And of course, like I'm like, man, but thank God that none of that happened.
Nah.
None of that happened. So how long did y'all stay in the hospital?
My wife and my little man, they stayed in the hospital from like that Wednesday till I think Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, they stayed in there from that Wednesday to Saturday. And I stayed in there for 2 weeks. I was there from May 18th to June 1st.
Okay. And then they sent y'all home and you had several surgeries during that time period, or did you?
I had 5 surgeries in the hospital in them 2 weeks. 2 week span. I had 5 surgeries, and that was on my arm. Like when I got to the hospital that day on Wednesday, they already had this surgery. They started surgery and plastic surgery on my chin.
Okay.
Then they did my arm at the same time, but they could only do but so much at the time because so
yeah, too much pressure on you.
Right. So after like 2 days done passed, I had to wake up and I had to go back into surgery. So the following week, I had to go do surgery again. And then, matter of fact, it was both of them. It was like the week after I had 2 surgeries. Then the week before I went home, I had 2 surgeries.
Okay.
And then
so,
we got out the hospital. I had 2 surgeries. I had a surgery that cut in the middle of my hand. Other hand though, but it cut in the middle of my hand, carpal tunnel surgery that they had to do, and then I had a skin graft, man. Skin graft, bro. That joke because like I can explain it. When I got home, it was the instruction is to leave the wound like it is for 3 days. Then I had to peel it off. And it was much bigger than an iPhone X.
Okay.
I had to peel. So I had to peel that off my skin. But that wasn't even the crazy part because when I first got home, I had a machine hooked up to me. And most people know that, well, most nurses know. If you're a nurse or a doctor, everybody know what a wound vac is. So they had a wound vac connected to me. And I'll explain it right quick. A wound vac is something that actually is cleaning and taking away the bacteria from open wounds. So my arm right here, like I had a big wound that couldn't close because they couldn't staple, they couldn't stitch my arm back. They had to let it close up because that's how bad it was. So I had a wound vac machine on where I had to plug it up every day to charge it and whatnot. I had to take it in the shower with me. And I had to wash with it. You know what I'm saying? I had to take that thing everywhere for almost 2 months. And the thing about it, the other house nurse, my OT, she used to come and she used to change it 3 times a week. I'm talking about pain that's something nobody wants to go through because having that wound vac changed 3 times a week is some pain. It's plenty of times, my mother-in-law, my wife, and her grandmother, they watched me cry. Like they watched me, a grown man cry from the pain. And I was on. I mean, most people know them 10s take care of you. Them perk 10s take care of you now. But it wouldn't help. It wouldn't help, man, because it'll settle it. But I had to feel that pain regardless. So she used to just come and what it is, it's a sponge that they put on you and they connect it from you to the machine. And once the machine turned on, that sponge automatically it just observed to your skin like. So that's cleaning it with a tube. They got a tube to it. That's helping it, like I said, keep it clean and all. But when it has to change or it can get affected. They peel that off too. And you ain't got no other choice. That's coming off your skin. And I how many times I got it changed? I got it changed 15 times.
15 times. And how long did you have to, like, how many weeks did you have to have that?
2 months. And it was 7 weeks. It was 7 weeks. But I got it changed for like 15 times.
15 times. Wow. So
that was some recovery. They talk about recovery. That was some stuff that I had to, go through to, to be a part of my recovery too, man. So that was.
And so now presently, look, it's 6 months later and you still got the cast on. And as you was telling me the other day, you still have 2 more surgeries, right?
Yeah, still got 2 more surgeries, man. I just had, I go to Chapel Hill every other week. I was going to Chapel Hill when I got to the hospital every week until almost September. That's when my every week stopped. About the mid of August, September, and then I go every 2 weeks. But I just went to Chapel Hill last Friday. Excuse me, and they was telling me that I had to get another MRI, but my next surgery should be in the mid of November, December. And that's going to be like my bone construction because I got to get bone added.
Okay.
Bone added. I got to get my tensions fixed, to get better feeling in my fingers. I lost a lot of feeling in my
We got about 15 minutes to go to break. We're going to come back on our last segment. We're going to get to that and a couple of other things I want to get through, but I definitely, we're going to be right back. Y'all stay tuned with us here on WBIS 106.9.
Hollywood Live with Tanya Hart.
The movie The Harder They Fall is coming to the big and small screen in November. Regina King plays a badass Sister Trudy Smith, and yes, she is a gun-toting mama in this one.
I probably would have been a fan of Westerns if they were more like this. You know, the music, James Samuel, his vision is, he's a visionary. I mean, I hope that this film inspires people when they are writing, when they're creating, to think bigger, think broader. Just I hope it expands their thought.
Regina King is always at the top of my list, and wait until you see these folks ride horses. Honey, that alone is enough to keep you on the edge of your seat. Check out the trailer right here at AURN online. And for all these stories and more, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tanya Hollywood and at AURN.com.
Awesome Radio.
All right, and we are back. Thank you guys for sticking with us here on Awesome Radio, W106.9 FM. On the U-Turn Show, I am your host, Richard Taylor. I'm going to read a couple of more comments before we go. Sahara Harnett say God is amazing and a blessing, and you and your family are still here. Thank you so much, Sahara, for watching. My mother, Aletta Taylor, you are a walking miracle. And said, where the perpetrators apprehended? And we're going to get to that as well. But I do want to thank all of you, Keita, Roger, Sakita, Hosea, for commenting and watching the show, and everybody else who watching and are not commenting. So we're going to get right back into it. I'm pretty sure this show is going to last longer than the radio broadcast because there's so much to get into. But right now, before we started, you were talking about what you lost as far as feeling. Yeah. So, what have you lost, and what is the prognosis of progress that you're looking at for your last two surgeries?
Once I got out of the hospital, man, I had to get used to the wound vac. So that wasn't making my recovery even better. So once I got done with the wound vac, and that was in like the first August or something like that when I got done with that. But when I got done with the wound vac, I couldn't have like a little feeling with my hand. I couldn't even do that. I could do that now, but I couldn't, move my fingers. My whole hand was like completely numb. Like, and I've been having the numbing sensation ever since I woke up in the hospital. And actually, and I'm not, shameful to share it, but the doctors are telling me that it could be maybe 15-20% of numbness for the rest of my life. In my in my thumb, first finger, and my middle finger.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to proclaim, and I hope everybody proclaims with me, that God is a healer. Definitely. And that he will receive 100% feeling and activity in all of his limbs. We proclaim every word of God that speaks upon healing upon my brother here. So, I know what the doctors are saying, but once again, God is a healer and a miracle worker, man. So, but yeah, we want to get into that. And of course, your wife had a little complications.
Oh yeah.
And your son did too. But now he's running around and walking. I saw him before the show started, so he's running around, walking. Hopefully, once again, we proclaim that same healing and recovery over your son and you. We definitely want to speak that. But yeah, as my mother said, so were the perpetrators, the people who did this, the people who shot all of those bullets in your home, were they ever captured? And if so, how were they captured?
Right now, they have been captured, but it's it's still everything's still on investigation.
Okay.
Investigation because they have them on some other cases too. So everything, yeah, and then I get together, and then they have I've been told 2 guys, that did the shooting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, so it kind of it was an accident, or was it purposeful?
Well, it was said that one of our buddies that come to our house, that's what one of our buddies was that come to our house, that's who they was looking for. Actually stayed right behind us. So I don't get houses mixed up or whatnot, but it was 3 of them that came to there, and they let off, but
and they were actually juveniles, right?
Yeah, they were juveniles.
They were juveniles, and they were actually
story too, man. I got a story, man. It was like, man,
okay.
I was laying in the hospital bed, man. They was like, Wally, we getting told that you a drug dealer, you owe so and so money and all that. Man, that tripped my family out, boy. My crazy, man. Cause they were like, nah, Wally don't do that.
Yeah.
That. So that's all that. It was just so much out there that was, people didn't know and they weren't understanding. And they, like I said, they just didn't know. But it was much out, that I was.
Because if anybody knows you, like, I mean, I know you, from family.
Yeah.
I don't know you like personally or in circles, but everybody that that I've spoken to or seen post about you, they can vouch that you're not into that lifestyle.
Yeah, nah. I've been bad now. I've been in situations. I've been jumped. I've been beat with a bat. I've been, I've been shot at before, but it was me even pertaining to me. It was dealing with my brother-in-law, and I thank God for that time, because the guy that shot us at that time, he shot like it was probably like 15, 20 yards from us. And he shot 6 times at us, but my brother had just gotten a fight. So that's what that was. But anyway, so when he shot, I came out running, and I pulled my brother-in-law to the ground, and then I was still standing up when the guy shot 6 times. He shot 6 times directly at us, and I was still standing up, and that's when everybody outside hit the ground. So then he stopped shooting. He ran away, whatnot. And then I called my brother-in-law. He go in the house, found out he got shot in the foot. So I done been through a lot, man. The house, that I was staying with my adopted mother, it was on Christmas Eve. A lot of people don't know. It was on Christmas Eve, man. I was playing. I just had opened my PlayStation 2. That's when the PlayStation 2 came out. PlayStation 5.
Okay, so that was some years ago.
Yeah, that was about 2000, 2001. So I was playing my PlayStation 2, and I seen all this smoke go by the room. And I'm like, dang, somebody burning something. So I didn't get up because I was playing the game.
And the PlayStation.
So somebody ran in the house. My sister, my adopted sister, but that's my sister though. My sister's boyfriend. He ran. He was like, the house on fire. So, hey man, after that, our whole house had burnt down, and I thank God for the community over this way, my area, because they came through for us. I've been through a lot, man. And a lot of people don't know that I had to go through the stages when I was growing up, because I fell on a step and I scraped my leg, so I didn't think nothing of it. So it got infected. So as my leg got infected, it got to the point that I couldn't walk on it. Like for real, I couldn't walk on it. I was like dragging it, and I got corrected and stuff. And the doctor was like, "Man, you was like, I don't know, a few days early from possibly getting your leg amputated, because that's if the infection would have spread further than that."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd have been through a lot, man, and then just been through a lot, bro.
So with this particular situation right here, though, so all of that, like the wife, and actually you had just bought some land and bought some property and getting that ready to move in before this happened.
We was this close. To moving in, like in May. Everything, to go. We had everything set in order to, to move in, and bam, this happened.
But throughout all of this storm, that you are still going to move into the new place when in about what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, about 2 weeks. Yep.
So how did you keep, that positive attitude through all of this part? And like what was your most challenging mental thoughts, going through this process?
Not letting my kids see me down.
Okay.
Let my kids see me down, and if I could be this strong for my kids, then they'll know that I'm a man.
Yeah.
And I'm strong enough to be this strong that they can be this strong too. Whatever that they got to go through later on, I know that it's gonna be some hills for them to climb, and valleys for them to go through later on in life. And if I get strong, they can be that strong too. And then, with me, believing in my Christianity, I knew God had me, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, but the most part about it, like, why did I have to go through it? That was the frustrating part. But, like you said, with the mentality of it, the mental part, I just had to trust God all the way from there to now, like, to know that everything happened for a reason. Who wants to, not work anymore? I was working in a landfill driving, I was a machine operator.
Okay.
And I was at the same time still traveling, playing my bass guitar and keyboard. I played keyboard every Sunday, and I want to give them a little shout out to Pleasant Meadow Baptist. Pleasant Meadow Baptist Church, Pastor Jerry McCoy, for allowing me for being there for actually 10 years. And then actually I play at my mom's church too. So I play at 2 churches every Sunday. But who wants to, just not have a gift no more? Not have, what carry them all the way through life and not be able to do that. So that's actually what I had to kind of go through now, because I can't play bass guitar. Well, I ain't gonna say I can't, because I'll be playing it on the sneak tip now.
Okay.
Things that, I could do before this happened. So, but if you kind of hear me, you'll be like, well, yeah, but it's coming along.
Okay, that's good.
Actually, I still play keyboard with both of my hands. Like, I try to, chord a little bit with this hand, but I still play keyboard at church right now. Because I want to tell this little part. I told my church, I was like, y'all go ahead and get somebody else. Go ahead and get somebody else to play. And they was like, nah, you are a musician. You're a musician. Whatever you gonna go through, we're gonna go through together. We're gonna go through with you. So I said, okay. I said, I know I can't give y'all the full sensation and music that I was bringing to the table, but if y'all allow me, y'all want me to, I'll give y'all what I can. And I thank God for them too, because actually that's actually helping me get better. And in my rehab, I can't say it right now.
Rehabilitation.
Right, but rehab and my therapy. So it's all help.
I thank the Lord for your church family, man, and also your friends, and actually your group. I actually called you. When was it? Was it what, Sunday? Saturday?
Yes, Saturday.
This man was on the road with his group. What's the name of the group?
McDuffie family.
The McDuffie family. Now he's on the road with them. I'm talking to him. They getting stuff out the car. They just pulling up to Maryland. Washington, D.C. He's all up there singing and playing. And actually one time I saw a live where he playing the drums. He playing the drums with one hand and singing. So you talking about a story of resilience, man, of somebody that's not going to let this stop him, man. Like I just see it, man. And you're so inspiring, man. You just so inspiring. Once again, my father says, God is Jehovah Rapha, the Lord that healeth thee. And we once again agree with that word. Sahara Hardnett, thank you for another chance. Your test shall be your testimonies. And that's why you got to go through, when you ask that question, why, man, you like you said, shot in the chest, the face, all times.
I got shot back of my shoulder, and the bullet's still behind me right now. It's in the back of my neck, right beside my spine. It's right beside my spine.
Yeah, so there's no, like, you are once again a walking testimony of the grace and mercy of God. Only thing you have to do is tell that story all over the place. And once again, your wife just screaming, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. A lot of people might have sat on that floor and died.
Right.
Might have sat up there. if it weren't for the faith and the prayers right then and there, right then and there during that situation, God showed you that, He's a healer. And so how is your wife doing? We can't leave her out.
She's doing good. She just came out just a few minutes ago trying to bug me.
I saw you laughing and joking with her. She watching in the back.
Yeah.
Okay, how you doing, cuz? Shout out to Miss Smith, man. I thank you for holding them down and sticking beside his side.
Yes.
Once again, man, I'm definitely just excited, for what you got going now. So what's the next event? When are y'all?
The next event, I actually have to go to Pageland, South Carolina this Sunday with family.
McDuffie family.
Yep. And then a week after that, we got Augusta, Georgia, and Charlotte.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So you keep telling that testimony. And also there was a big concert actually held in your benefit, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, Corey McCray, man, one of my guys that I know since I was small. But like I was telling you, we got into it, but man, we got over that. And then, we just became, good friends. And then, now we like brothers, man. He did a benefit program for me. He did a benefit program, and it came out good, man. It came out real good. I mean, he had I think like all the groups that was there, I expected some groups to back out, because in this quartet genre, it's a lot of love, but then it's not. You know what I'm saying? So I would not have expected, everybody that was, some of the folks that was there to have as much love for me, that they showed me. And that was tremendous. And I needed that. So, I always tell Corey McCray now to this day, I thank him for that, man, because if he didn't do it, I don't think it would have been done. I know my church did one, and then my it's another car wash folks. They did a benefit program for us too, like a fish fry. But Corey did a little big gospel concert, and it was helpful, man. It was helpful, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So what do you mean by the court? Now, quartet is what? That's like just four? Because I've always heard quartet singing. So what's that? Just four? Does that mean four people singing, or what is that?
Yeah, that's actually how it is. But
quartet group.
It's kind of like it's I wouldn't say transforming, but it's actually just. It's grown into, some guys want to use a group like a male chorus, and they have about 8 to 10 guys in it.
Okay. That ain't what it's supposed to be. So the McDuffie family, how many the McDuffie family got?
Oh, that's a family thing, but they only got like, it was actually at the time because they had 2 deaths. Well, because that's my family.
Definitely.
Like we had 2 deaths in that family, and it was the lead singer that passed 2 years ago, and he was my age. So, but he was going through a little sickness, and I just thank God for him. And rest in peace, Rick. Love you. And then they had another brother to pass this year, but at the time in the group it was 4 brothers singing. It was 4 brothers. And then they had their sisters with them. So that was a family thing. But we was all growing up coming into the quartet. We was all grown up. I had my little group, and they had their little group. Before they was even named the McDuffie family, they was named Little Ricky and the Mighty Go to Stars. And that was Likey and the Straightway Stars. I sing with them now, and I played bass before I had this accident. And then, my girl right now, they got a bass player. She's a female, Morgan Hunt. Y'all need to look up.
Nice. She's nice.
She's nice.
Okay.
Morgan Hunt. hook her up. And I thank God for them, getting her to kind of, replace me because, that's a little tough cookie. And
Okay. Hey, look, so we got about a minute and 30 seconds on the radio, but we're gonna keep it going through Facebook Live after the radio goes off. But what kind of words would you like to leave with our radio audience that they can take away from your story tonight?
Don't take life for granted. Don't take life for granted. Everybody that's, if you're not close to your loved ones, try to get close to your loved ones and just, hold on to somebody, because like it's gonna be times that we're gonna be tried, and we don't know the test. We don't know the trial test. We don't know how big or small that it will be, and how low or high it's gonna take us. But we're gonna have to fight strong, be strong, and just don't take life for granted, man. Don't take life for granted, because that's what I learned through all this. Can't take life for granted, because I'm sitting here now. I can't play, and I can't play basketball. I can't play football, and right now, just love your loved ones.
All right, so we're going to keep going our Facebook listening audience, because I do have a lot of questions left over. For our radio listening audience, thank you for tuning in to the WBIS 106.9 FM Awesome Radio Show, the U-Turn Show. Make sure you tune in with us next week. Thank you for listening.
Lord, I need you to smile on me. Lord, I'm bleeding. Tell me where you want me to go.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, okay. So Morgan Hunt, you said Morgan. So she replaced you with the McDuffie family.
Yeah, I know I got off the subject with the four people in the quartet, but yeah, I had to mention her because she's actually like inspiring me more too at the same time. But yeah, she replacing me.
Okay, would you say she better than you?
I ain't gonna say that. I don't like.
Well, you made it seem like she was a tough cookie now.
Cookie, because she sound better than a lot of male bases. But
okay.
I wouldn't say that she's better than me. I would say I'm better than her.
Okay, all right, okay. I got you.
She's got her way of doing her thing. I got my way.
She got a different style.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see you playing again, man. Especially the bass, man. That's your first love, the bass.
It's coming. Yeah. That's my primary instrument. Actually, people always ask me what do I love the most, and I usually say it. I mean, it don't matter as long as I'm playing, but bass is my primary instrument. That's my love, though. I love playing bass.
Oh, okay. And Latoya S. Mears Smith says she's good. Is that?
That's the wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's her big head.
All right. Oh, okay. I was talking to us. All right. So yeah. So man, what was I going to ask you? Oh yeah, the children. Like how are the children doing mentally? As far as recovering from it. The trauma and everything. Do they ever talk about it? Do y'all ever talk about it as a family?
No. My kids don't talk about it at all. They don't talk about it at all. Me and my wife, we talk about it all the time. Like we could be riding, and
there you go. Let me see him. Let the audience see him, man. Now this is part of the miracle too. Little David, he didn't want to talk to me a while ago because he was eating. He said, "I don't want to talk. I want to eat. What's up, little cuz?" Hey, now you can talk. You ain't got no food in your mouth. What's happening?
Yeah, that's cousin.
Yeah.
Say hey, cousin.
He said that. He waving at you.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. So yeah, but y'all. Yeah. So they won't. Have you?
But they've been. Hold on. But they've been very supportive. Though. I ain't gonna lie, they've been very supportive, man. Because when I still have to change my wound a little bit, And but I do it self, now. But before, my daughter, she would help me change my bullet wounds and stuff. Like I had to make sure my patches, my gauze and stuff would change on my chest, and she'll change it for me every night, and she'll help me. And then I thank God for them. I really do, because they were strong, man. Because then they had to also, my wife, hold on, Dave. My wife had to be changed too. She had to get changed for like about a month or two. And they just been strong through it, man. They've been strong through it. I wouldn't imagine.
And still keeping their grades and sports and everything like that. That's big, man.
Yeah, so I mean, they know by now, but that's why we try to keep them busy. We kept them busy. They try to, keep their mind off it, because that was a little traumatizing little moment. So I really don't talk about it, but when I do, I try to laugh with it and stuff a little bit.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it, because you still here, just like you said. You can't take life for granted, and you can't take the gifts that God has given you for granted. So, and so you said, so the bullets, they didn't go in your chest; they just went across your chest, right? Those were like grazings, or they actually went in.
They went through me, cuz this one. I think they had hollow tips, because this in me, and this got like this side right here. I wish I could show y'all, but I don't think that's necessary. But this right here have like 8 pieces of metal broke in. And that's in my chest. This one on this side, this one went in and it's stuck right here. The bullet's still stuck right here. I can feel it. You
can feel it. And they won't. They say they gonna leave it in. They're not gonna take it out.
Right. Yeah. They said they're not gonna leave it in. So they said they're not gonna remove it. They said if it's not bothering me to the point that I can't take the pain or something like that, because they said I'm gonna feel it regardless. But if it's not bothering me, with crazy pain, there's no need for them to take it out. And then, like I told you, I still got a bullet in the back of my neck. And actually, I started to sue the hospital, but I got very, very peed off with them, because I didn't find out it was a bullet in my neck until like the second week in the hospital. Because I usually like pop my neck like that. I usually pop my neck. So when I pop my neck, I just put my hand back there to rub it. You know what I mean? And then I just felt this something hard. And I know my body.
Yeah.
I never felt that before. And I felt that little knot. I'm like, that better not be no bullet. And then when I found out about that, that was like, man, that was crazy, because I got in shock all over again. Like, I mean, anybody would if they knew that was a bullet right there near their spine. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, like, once it touched my spine, I can become paralyzed. So then I went through the situation with the doctors and stuff. They showed all the x-ray, man. So if anybody want to know, I'm not lying. Like, I actually got shot 10 times. I got plenty of burnt spots, and they know when, bullets is hot.
Yeah.
I got, and I got like a little, about that much of my skin taken off some parts of my body from the grazes. Cause the bullets went across my stomach. I got I got one graze right here, and I got another graze right there. So I should have got actually shot probably like 4 times in my chest, and probably like 5 times in my stomach. But yeah, that's how that went.
So you were closest to the window or the side of the house?
Yeah, I was right beside the window, like literally, right, because our bed, how our room worked, we switch it around all the time. But that particular time, we had the bed beside the window, so I slept beside the window, because our room wasn't that big, but our bed was. So the bed was all the way to the wall. And my wife, she likes sleeping on the outside so she can get easy access off the bed.
Yeah.
So I thank God for her with that easy access. I mean, because it would have been her. It would have been her.
Or if the bed would have been a different place, maybe the bullets would have been able to travel more and contact you more. So.
I want to mention this too, cuz right quick. Like, I got a shirt out right now. But that's what my mom, she, Monica, she trying to call me Superman and trying to say I'm bulletproof. But I thank God for me being there, because, if I wasn't there, I think that the bullets would have probably did more damage to my little man and my wife.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I took a lot of bullets.
Yeah, you took for them, like you shielded everything was, you know what I mean? You shielded a lot for them. And God made you stronger so you can handle that, man. And actually, God put his angels around you. So you know what I'm saying? What those, becoming somebody in the chest, like they're supposed to hit something. You know what I'm saying? They supposed to hit some lungs, some heart, some artery. So God put his angels to protect you. I believe it. You know what I'm saying? I believe it like, okay, well, we gonna, like you said, we gonna break that bullet up. When it come in, we gonna break it up. You know what I mean? So, man, that's awesome. Now, have you ever been back to that location? I know I know. Have you ever been back to the spot where that happened? What, because of, does her mother and everybody still stay in the same area?
Yeah. But I haven't been back to that house in like probably like over a month. I haven't been back over there. And the other reason why I did go there is because being at, being with some family members, I just walked over there. But other than that, nah, nobody goes over there, man. Because I noticed the windows is still boarded up. And that's nothing but memories.
How long were y'all there in that house, in that particular house? How long had y'all lived there?
We was there for like 7 years. And that's why we went on and bought our own property, because we were like, hey, it's time to go big now. So we bought our own little 5-bedroom, 2-bath, and we bought our own property, got our own property, put that home on the property, and like I said, we was going through the process of getting in it. And even though when my car was taken, we was in the process. Like we should have been in our home June. We should have been in our home. If this wouldn't happen, we would have been in our home in June, but that slowed us down. And thank God, thank God be the glory that he knows that all. He knows it all. So we in the process of moving in there next week or so, actually.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Who's gonna help you?
I've been having a lot of help from my church family, both with Deliverance and Pleasant Meadow. Been having a lot of help. They've been helping me move. More than likely, it'll be family members.
So are you still but you moving around good though? Like you driving and getting the place that you need to be and everything like that?
Man, I was driving when I got to the hospital, man.
Ain't nothing gonna stop you now. Nothing gonna stop you.
I think it was the day after. If it wasn't the day after I got out, it was like a couple of days. I was like, man, I could drive. If I could walk, I could drive. If I could raise this arm, I could drive. So I'm sitting here carrying the wound vac with me everywhere. Not letting nothing stop me, man. I was, you know what I'm saying? And what else I was doing? Matter of fact, nurses was actually shocked that I was walking that soon. They was actually shocked. They was like, you can walk, because being, under that medication, and then being with my body, how my body was wounded, I really probably shouldn't be walking that soon, but I got out and walked, man. I was dizzy at some time, but I like, man, if I stay there, I might not get better. So I'm gonna make myself get better. That's how I always been. Cause I noticed you work out. And I was working out, pushing up the weights and stuff. So you know how that is. You don't want this little pound to get to you. If you benching 205, you want to press 5 more pounds. That's how it was with me. I just wanted to make a step more. Man.
And actually, you working out on the arm right now, right? You told me the other day you was lifting a few pounds with it. Do you supposed to be doing that though?
Yeah, I can lift. I just do a lot of reps. I lift light. I live real light, but I ain't.
I'm talking about health wise, like doctor, like what the doctor say. The doctor say you supposed to lift. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to use it regularly.
Yeah, my therapist said, as long as I'm not trying to, trying to do the things I was doing back then, trying to get big, but heavy weight. But lightweight, yeah, it's fine. My therapist is fine.
So how often do you go to therapy? Do you still go to therapy, like daily or weekly, or how's your therapy going?
Yeah, it's weekly. I go weekly. Yeah, I go like twice a week. And my wife, she started too, because like a lot of people don't know, but she lost nerves too. but her nerves loss is not as worse as mine. She only had one surgery. Obviously, I got 9 surgeries for this arm altogether, but she had one surgery, and she's trying to recover from where she at now with her injury, but it's coming along. It's coming along good, man. We just believing in God that He's gonna do some crazy things, man. Because we already know He's a miracle worker.
Yeah. He already, like I said, like you heal, man. Above all that, man. That you're here.
Same thing with little man. He walking. Actually, he's running now. Little man running. I mean, he got the little tiny limp, but we took him to Chapel Hill about 2 weeks ago, and the doctor said he's gonna be fine. Like he said, the way if they have to do surgery, because they want to give him enough time to kind of grow out of that little limp. But she said if he don't, then the good thing about it, he only have to do like a 1-day surgery and allow him to walk straight, and he'll walk on the same day of his surgery. So, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good. It's just right now, me and the wife, we gotta back this recovery. But and that's what we I give my little man props too, man, because he didn't let this take him down either. He was in a wheelchair, you know what I'm saying? His wheelchair right here. He was in a little wheelchair for I think about like a month or two, about 2 months, because he had a cast on. And man, I'm telling you, man, he's around the house scooting everywhere, man. That thing was so he's not crying at all because he can't do this or that. He didn't let that stop him. So I said, that had to come from me.
Yeah.
And then later on, he started standing on it. He started standing on it, walking on it and stuff like that.
Dragging it around.
Yeah, but he do not like doctors. He do not like doctors because they had to put a stent out. They had to put stents out. And so that they put in his leg. When they took the cast off, they had to put the stents out. And he wasn't pleased. So right, he ain't feeling the word doctor. Like I'd be like, hey, you want to go to the doctor with me, Dave? He be like, no. But yeah, but we all just dealing with the recovery, and we coming along good, man.
Yeah, you sound like it, man. You sound. I mean, just like nothing happened. This is just like a mosquito bite or something, man. That's what, so you eating it up, man. But I thank you so much. I ain't gonna hold you up because, man, I know it's late and you got family and kids, man. But I definitely want to thank you for coming on the show, man. Once again, I speak, blessings and peace and prosperity and health and just recovery, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, in every way possible, man, over you and your family, bro. And I'm gonna get down there to see y'all one day soon, man.
Well, I'm be coming up to Goldsboro soon, so
Yeah, make sure you let me know so I can be in place, man. But once again, I want to thank the Facebook listeners as well, man. Thank y'all for interacting. Those who support the show and watch the show, I really appreciate y'all. And y'all have a blessed night as well. Anything you want to say before we go?
I appreciate everybody that tuned in. I've seen a lot of people that I wouldn't say fans, but they know me a playing and stuff, and I seen a few, and then I just appreciate everybody that tuned in, and everybody, y'all keep motivating me. Y'all keep motivating me because it's not over yet. What I'm saying? The best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come. That's right, man. We receive that. In everything that we do, and everything that you do, man. Let it be blessed, bro. I'm gonna talk to you soon, though.
All right, love you, cuz.
I love you too, man. Take care.
All right.